This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the Village of Ashwaubenon Public Works and Protection Committee to order on Tuesday, December 7, 2021. Roll call, please.
Carrie Paul,
Here.
John Burnett,
Here.
Joanne Euclid. Here. And Jake Krieger.
Here. Very good. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Action on the agenda. Need a motion on that?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moving a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Number 5, action on the minutes from November 2, 2021.
Move to approve.
Any corrections or additions? Got a first?
Second it.
I got a second from John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Comments from the public. Kind of scarce on the public. I believe you're on the agenda. Am I correct? Very good. We'll move on to item 7 with the action items. Action on a temporary liquor license extension at Titletown Plaza. Chris, you're on the table.
Okay. Titletown Sports Service is requesting a temporary liquor license extension off the Titletown Plaza area at 1065 Lombardi Avenue for December 31st, 2021 and January 1st, 2022.
Just for those 2 dates, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody here to speak?
Just a quick add to that. This has been reviewed by Public Safety and
You're on the clock.
Yep, I'm serving as Chief Yule tonight for tonight.
Oh,
so,
you are with the
yep,
Titletown
yep. So that is, it has been recommended
that's
for
enough, but
approval.
let's move
Thank
on.
you.
Now, don't make me stop, though.
I'm assuming this is basically around a New Year's Eve thing they're going to be doing, correct? That's what.
Okay, anything else, Joel? Oh, no, okay. Standard procedure?
Just so you're aware, Jordan is on the go-to meeting if you have any questions.
Okay.
Who is?
Jordan.
I can kind of introduce myself here.
Okay.
Jordan Burke. I'm the Director of Operations for Delaware North at Titletown and Lambeau Field with the company that represents the hospitality and food and beverage. Also on the call is Heath Barbado, our General Manager of both properties as well.
Okay. Explain the 2 dates that you're taking here then, would you please?
Yep. So the request for the temporary liquor license extension is basically to put on a New Year's Eve holiday entertainment area. There'll be beverage service inside this area. It's just extending our current license, which extends into the plaza at 1065, into a smaller, almost warming area, so to speak.
Is that attached to the brewery there?
It is not directly attached to the brewery. No, it is not. It is actually in the same unit complex as the same license also we hold in the Turn restaurant and entertainment area, which is on the farther side of the same location.
Okay, it's down the line there. Okay, any other questions? Not, I'll obtain a motion to approve or?
I move to approve the temporary license for December 31st and January 1st.
Second.
You've got a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Very good. Action item B, action on Class B/C B liquor license is required for, requested for Hy-Vee Inc., doing business as Hy-Vee. Chris, you're on it again.
I'll take it. That way we can cover everything all at once. How does that sound, Gary? As indicated in your packet, Hy-Vee Inc., doing business simply as Hy-Vee, is requesting a regular Class B beer, Class B liquor license for the bar and food hall patio area only within their proposed redeveloped retail store. The bar, food hall, patio will have an exterior entrance at 2401 Oneida Street. All other licensing and payment requirements have been met, and the recommendation from Public Safety is to approve this particular license. This is a unique circumstance. This is obviously a retail store that also encompasses a bar hall, and a food hall as well. And so this particular location will have two separate premises and two separate addresses, one for the regular Class B beer and Class B liquor license, and then one for the Class A. Tonight before you is simply the Class B licenses for this establishment, covering the food hall and bar area. At a future upcoming meeting, there will be a proposal for a Class A retail license for areas within the store. Casey is on the call from Hy-Vee, as well as Tyler here is present today, and they would like to just give you a simple preview and explanation as to their overall site plan, the premise description, and what to expect with this particular request.
Very good.
All right.
Ty, you're on.
Thank you.
Name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. Tyler Power, 113 31st Avenue in Moline, Illinois, here on behalf of Hy-Vee. Thanks so much for having us tonight. This is a very exciting project for Hy-Vee, taking over this property and renovating it. Just to give you a quick overview of what we're expecting of this entire project, to give you a holistic sense, we're looking at approximately 500 jobs in this site. 125 full-time is our approximation right now, 375 part-time positions. We're looking at an overall capital investment of around $20 million into this facility, with an aggressive opening date of late 2022. Again, that's quite a tight timeline just with the environment of materials, equipment, things like that, but our team is very good at projecting those things. So as of right now, we're looking at a late 2022 opening of this facility. So I'm just gonna go over a few things just to help paint the picture for the committee tonight. This is on the first slide here, you'll see just an overview of the parcel as it sits currently today, and some of the surrounding businesses that are there. If we can go to the next slide. This is what our Grimes, Iowa, and our Eau Claire, Wisconsin location are looking like. This is our, as we coined it, our next generation of retail store. So a very modern facade, very nice looking facade that you can see on the exterior, and how that will work is, as you see there, with our wine and spirit store, which is where the Class A will reside as well. So
Are both of those archways your buildings that we're looking at?
I'm sorry?
Are both those archway entrance both your,
Yeah,
is that your full store?
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
And this store is, I failed to mention that earlier, but it's around 125,000 square feet for the entire building that we're looking at for our floor plan, which is actually on the next slide. It's going to be a little tough to see, but this is the floor plan that we have currently, that we have proposed. There are two highlighted areas for the purposes of the Class B. That will be the green section that you see on the screen there for the on-site consumption for our restaurant as well as our food. For our for the green space there, we have a whole host of different restaurants, if you will, inside of our stores. Wahlburgers is one of the more notable entries that we have at our Hy-Vee stores that are coming more online. So you can get your burgers, fries, tater tots, salads, things like that there. We also have our Market Grill, which is what I coin as our comfort foods, if you will, the chicken tenders, chicken pot pies, mashed potatoes, those types of things. We also have hibachi, so stir fry. We all, in addition to our sushi that's made fresh in the store, our hai chai, which is our Chinese food, and then we also have Mia Italian, which is our Italian line. So a pizza that's very similar to Subway, where you get to pick the toppings, and the oven's around 600-700 degrees, made in about 4 or 5 minutes. So not a long wait for a fresh pizza with the dough made fresh in the store. And then we also have our Long Island Deli, which is a sub sandwiches, potato salads, things like that, all offered in that green section for the Class B. Folks can order from any of those places, go sit at the restaurant, and enjoy a cocktail or any other beverage that they want. So
Now, the green section, you're referring to the dark green section.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and then the yellow piece would be for what we are looking at for our Class A. And I have just a couple of photos just to go over, really what the Class A kind of looks like, just to give you a sense. So this is what our wine and spirit store looks like in Eau Claire. Very high end, a lot of different selections for wines, bourbons, local craft beers, things like that. So, we've tried to bring as many local brands as we can into the stores just to give the customer the selection. Next slide, please. Then this is just another photo of the wine selection there, including our wine room, which is temperature controlled, humidity controlled. Very nice selection of some of our higher end wines. And then the next slide we'll go into is the different types of beers that we have to offer in our wine and spirits department. Again, this is under the Class A, which, as Joel mentioned, we'll come back at a different time. But just to give you a sense of what we're looking at and an overall picture of what Hy-Vee is trying to do. And then the next slide, we'll go back again. This is the restaurant portion of our Eau Claire store. On the left, you'll see the nice fireplace seating area that when you walk in the Eau Claire store, to the right is the Starbucks and coffee that we have, and to the right. And then so there's different seating right there. And then you can see on the photo on the right, the beginning of the food hall, which we go to the next slide, shows a bit more of what the restaurant and the bar area looks like. So we have booths, we have tables for seating there. And again, it's really nice for the families to come in. Example is that I give is on Saturday, my wife and I and the kids went to our Hy-Vee. My 9-year-old daughter, of course, had to get Chinese food. Never fails. That's what she always gets. I ended up getting chicken tenders. The wife got sushi. And we're all able to get, a good meal, what we wanted, as well as watch a little bit of the Big Ten championship game, which wasn't really much of a game, but we were able to watch it regardless. But then the next slide will show some more of the seating area, the booths, and then another snapshot of the bar for the on-site consumption. And so those are all part of what we're looking for as far as our Ashwaubenon store. And then and that was really it. Was the last slide there for the on-site consumption. So again, I just want to thank you for having me again. We're looking at approximately 500 jobs in the 125,000 square foot store with an opening date, like I said, late 2022 of an opening. So with that, I will answer any questions that the committee may have on our application.
Just a quick question on the interior that I was seeing from Eau Claire there. Is that about the same theme that you run through all your stores in?
Yeah, so this new design of stores, like I said, is new. So we opened up our Grimes, Iowa store, which is the first one in mid-September. Eau Claire opened at the end of September of this calendar year. So they're still relatively new, but that's the design aspect that we anticipate would be coming here.
Okay, where's your home office?
So we are based out of West Des Moines, Iowa.
Where?
West Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, West Des Moines, Iowa.
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
That patio area, is that facing to the east? Am I correct there? If I'm looking at this drawing, there's no streets on here, so I'm not quite sure. Is that an east facing?
I believe so.
That is correct. That is the east face.
Okay.
So if you recall, Shopko actually had 2 entrances to their store face on the east side of the building. The main entrance would be located kind of here where I'm circling. And then the secondary entrance, if you recall, the Shopko retail site, this was kind of the service counter. And there was an entrance immediately adjacent to the service counter that would encompass that area of their store. And then again, not relevant to the Class B license, but there was another entrance on the west side of the store, if you recall. That entrance will be replaced here with what would be a proposed alcohol, their retail alcohol section, their wine and spirits area of the store.
Is it planned that your hours of operation are going to be basically what the mall is then?
I'm not sure what the mall's hours are.
Okay.
Typically, we'll like to be, a 6 to 11. We're not a 24-hour operation as far as the grocery stores, but 6 to 11 is usually our sweet spot for operations.
Okay.
Now, this license is strictly for interior use only.
There is a component to the Class B with that outdoor patio area that would also be encompassed within
Including the
Class B.
patio area.
Correct.
Nothing to do with parking lot, nothing like that, no.
Correct. So when we get to the Class A license, again, not relevant for today's approval or discussion, but ultimately, obviously, you have the wine and spirits section. Oop, let me go back. There are other areas within the retail environment where you might have end caps and maybe temporary or promotional sale items that are identified. But then there's also this kind of unique area here that's yellow. And Hy-Vee is kind of going down the path of what's called click and pick. So you can order online and then upon arrival at the store, you can have your groceries brought out to your vehicle, including the purchases you made of alcohol within the Class A environment. Of course, they have to check the IDs and verify that the individual making the purchase online is indeed the individual of age acquiring the alcohol.
Okay. Similar to Pick and Save, where they do the same type of business now that COVID created that. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Well, I think this is fantastic. One question I would have is, I'm just curious why we're looking at a Class B liquor license at this point in time if you're not opening until a year from now.
Yeah, so for a couple of reasons, the first is with the agreement with the current owner of the store, we have our due diligence period, so we want to ensure that, we don't have any issues, because obviously, when we're looking at a capital investment, we want to make sure that we can operate the way we need it to.
Fair enough.
Good. Yes, I will say a great addition to the mall area that fills all the major stores that we've got in there. I think it's a good addition to our community here, and good luck on finding 500 people.
I also have it from a very good source that your smoothies are great. That's from my grandson. Tonight.
Very reliable source.
At the dinner table, so, yeah. So I would make a motion to approve the Class B beer license and Class B liquor license for Hy-Vee.
Second.
Got a first and a second, all in favor?
If I could just jump in for a quick second.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just to kind of expand upon what the discussion was just a moment ago regarding why the application right now. Our ordinance does require, it has a requirement as far as a 90-day operation period or a statement of intent. Now, the board ultimately does have the discretion to waive that time period based upon construction activities, which I think Tyler has explained here tonight. And so I would just ask, I think that would be added as a condition to the motion as well, which would ultimately then go to the board, similar to how we did with Dave & Buster's, for example, as well.
Yeah, I will amend my motion then to suspend the 90-day requirement.
Second.
Okay. Good. First and a second, again, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Ashwaubenon.
Yes, we're very excited. Can't wait to open.
We're waiting for the shovel to hit the ground.
I think it'll be sooner rather than later. So, thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. Items for next agenda. Contact the office if you have anything, or we will see you in January. Hope everybody has a nice holiday. Get a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion for first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Good night and thank you.